Hi guys, my version of stand-up paddleboard trolling motor. So that's it. You can hook up any stand-up paddleboard, but majorly it's designed for the inflatable stand-up paddleboard for the recreational use. So basically, you just climb on the board. So this is the board goes through. And put it just under your foot. It's very simple, and it just one screw, any side screw. You can take off the screw and take off the motor link. So this will be open, right? You can just climb on your board. So that's your board. Put just under your foot. And then use a regular wrench to put it back on. So the mounting is just a two aluminum bar to climb on your board. So it's very stable, you can see. Once it's back on, you can actually just leave on your board, because you can see it's very simple. It doesn't really use that much space. With the 2 mile per hour speed, it's pretty much the same speed when you paddle for the recreational board. I mean, if you have a racing board, you will get more speed. But this is more like for the recreational board. So for the recreational board, that your common speed is around 2 or 3 miles per hour. That's your common speed on the water. So this will be the same speed like you're paddling. So which means you feel exactly the same like you're paddling. So just save your energy. It's very comfortable. It's not a fast speed and make you nervous. So think about if you regular paddle in the 2 mile per hour and the motor give you 5 mile per hour, which is double the speed, more likely you're gonna fall, because you're not comfortable with that speed. So this is a setup, exactly pretty much the same speed with your regular paddle. So in this way, it's very comfortable. You don't feel any difference like your regular just paddling. So and also 2 mile per hour is kind of it's good speed for the trolling. I mean, if you go fishing, because I fishing a lot with stand-up paddleboard. So I put a little chair in the middle and just sit there and fishing. With this setup, I can go some bigger lakes.
这刚一接触，粉云一个卷动，就将那萤火包裹住。在云团中，数得无尽形成的各种怪兽，望着银红张牙舞爪扑了过去。荧光仙子也不甘示弱，几声霹雳后，一道弯月。
哇，That's even bigger. Oh my god. They're like 6 pounds. And it's use a common 12-volt battery, any car battery, whatever, the 12-volt battery, it all works. So that's 2 liter motor. It doesn't use that much energy. So this 12-volt battery, this little battery can give me a 3 hour. On the water, that's more than enough. Wind is kind of picking up. You can see the wave. So right now I'm pretty much against the wind. Like barely about 8 mile per hour wind. It's still okay. I mean, you can against the wind. But once you stand up, you get more resistance from the wind. So it's too windy, you just goes down like this. That's keep your speed. And also made wired throttle. So that's throttle. That's initial part. You just turn with your finger. Turn with your finger. So in this way, this is the nature of cruise control. You think about, you don't want the throttle, you have to keep holding with your fingers, right? So especially we're not talking about something super fast, the surfing board. We're talking about the cruise control. We're talking about the trolling motor. We just want to relax, right? So with this throttle, so basically you turn any point, it will stay at that point. So it's naturally cruise control. And also it has a killer switch. So that in the middle part there have the quick release. It also works like a killer switch. So what a killer switch is, think about if by the accident you fall in the water, if without killer switch, the motor continue running and the board will keep going. You have to swim really hard to catch that board. So with the killer switch, once you fall in the water, this will be disconnect, right? And then the motor will be shut down and the board will stay there and wait for you to back on. That's the killer switch, very important. And the connector is a standard, common ESC connector. Pretty much all the ESC connector is similar like this. It's a standard digital signal, PWM signal. Pretty much we work all kind of ESC on the market. We can just connect. So there's a motor goes to the ESC, both sides, and that's the ESC connector for the throttle. And you just matching the color, matching the color side by side and put it in. So that'll be connect. You can see the color is matched. Okay, so and then your throttle will be connect, and make sure that will be goes to initiate point. That's the initiate point, the little mark, and then secure your throttle. Like I said, this is a killer switch, so you gotta secure this side on your board, and then this is a killer switch will be going to work, right? So I just put this on. Very simple. So that will be secured, right? So if I fall, here will be released, right? And when you back on, you just plug in. Very simple. So this is a low voltage because it just a signal. It's only 5 volt. So even though if the connector with some water in there, it's no problem at all. It's a digital signal, so it's no problem. You just plug back in, okay? And then to secure your batteries, it's also pretty simple. We have a throttle connect, and then we can connect the battery. Basically, the battery also have loop and hook. We can just pull it in there, and then use some kind of strap to hook up the battery. and then just tighten it down. So once you tighten it down, it's very secure in there, so that everything will be hooked up on your board, you know, just like that. It's very secure right there. Okay, and then you just plug in the batteries. Okay, once you plug in the battery, so the throttle is double secure on your hand, you know, one bungee cord, and also have this hookup. So they'll be double secure on your hand. Remember, this is a killer switch as well. So once it's full, you know, you want this to go, you know. You want the pressure in the cable, you know. And then you can just turn your throttle. You will start, you know, start. Okay. And like I said, it's the nature of cruise control, so you can control the speed. You hear the sound is different, right? So, and certain speed you just let go is the cruise control, right? Let's catch those ducks. Wow. They're even swimming faster than me. Come on, you guys not flying? Come on, let's go fly. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You got to fly, right? Keep flying. So you clamp this on your board, usually just under your foot, but you can put it pretty much anywhere. It just depends on the width, right? You know, because 32 is kind of the widest point. Okay, usually it's in the middle where your foot stand out. I figure out when I put you know, just right by my foot, it's easier because eventually you probably will catch some, you know, waves on your propeller. So when it's just under your foot, it's pretty easily to clean this up. Because think about this is just by the side of the board, you know, underside of the board. It's pretty easy. You can reach there and clean the weights. Because once it's cut on the weights, if the one side cut on weights, you will turn, right? If both sides cut on weights, you will slow down, you know. So put it just under your foot, make it much easier to clean it. And with two motors, it will, you know, more keep you straight on the water. I tried. If it's just one motor, you know, you put one motor behind, more likely you have to continue to control the directions, you know. So with two motor, basically it's pretty much just go straight. So you don't really need to you know, adjust the direction a lot with your pedal. So that's the advantage with the two motors. It's more stable. Yeah, that's the setup. Super easy setup, and you know, you got everything you need. Like I said, you have killer switch, you have cruise control. That's everything you need. And also it's super lightweight, super simple to hook up on your stand-up paddleboard. 2 mile per hour, the speed, super comfortable, just like your regular paddleboard. You just can go much bigger lake, you know, discover much more area on the water. Okay, thank you. We'll see you next time.